Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. And today we are going to look into logical reasoning, and this is the part 3 of the session, TISSNET 2023. So we'll be doing some 20 odd questions which come in logical reasoning. Some of these questions are going to be set based, some are singlets. So you have to weigh during the exam as to would you like to go with the set based or the singlets. See, singlets will be little time consuming because you have to read some part of the question and then solve only one question related to it. But when it comes to set based, whatever you read, you will be able to solve 2 or 3 questions associated with it. But the amount of information that will be given will be almost like twice of what you will expect in a singlet, right? So let's see. So the first question is, fill in the missing number in this series: 7, 13, 21, unknown value 43 and 57. So what do you guys think the answer is? So what we do in such questions is we'll first of all look at the difference, right? So the difference of 7 and 13, that's an increase of 6. 13 and 21, that's an increase of 8. 43 and 57, that's an increase of 14. So going by this pattern, the next increase should be that of 10 and the next increase should be that of 12. So that 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, they form some sequence, right? So from 21, if you need an increase of 10, you will end up at 31. So Charlie is our answer, 31. Okay, next. So there are 2 questions, instructions for question number 2 and 3. The comprehension part is, the given line graph shows the percentage of the number of candidates who qualified in an exam out of the total number of candidates who appeared for the exam over a period of 7 years from 94 to 2000. Okay, answer the following 2 questions based on the graph. So this is actually 8 years, right? Not 7 years, and from 1993 to 2000. So we have 1993 and then we have 2000. These are 8 years, right? Okay. So let's see. The percentage of candidates who qualified in the exam increased between 94 and 97 as well as between 95 and 2000. Of these 2 time periods, in which time period was the percentage increase in the qualification of candidates the maximum? Okay. So what do you think the answer is going to be? It says from 94 to 97, the percentage of candidates who qualified the exam increased, right? 94 से लेके 97 में. Definitely, right? It's not the total number of students, but it's the percentage of candidates who qualified, right? And the next one it's talking about is the same is true for the period 95 to 2000. So did we have 2000? Okay. So 2000 data is a mess. So it's from 93 to 99, right? And if you are saying 95, okay, मेरे को लग रहा है ना कि यहाँ पर ये वाला डेटा इश्यू है. This should be 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and this should be 2000. Then only this will make sense, right? The information given in this. Okay, so it says 94 to 97. So in 94 it was 30 and at 97 this was 50. And then it's also talking about the period from 95 where it was 50 and 2000 that was 60, right? In which time period was the percentage increase in the qualification of candidates the maximum? It says 95 to 2000. So from 95 to 1000, if you will try to solve, we can say that 50 has become 60. So that's an increase of 1/5, which is 20%, right? The two time periods cannot be compared. Increase was the same in both the time periods. Okay, let's calculate 94 to 97 then. From 94 to 97, 30 has become 50. So that's an increase of 2/3, which is 66.66%. So the answer is either going to be D or it's going to be B, because definitely it's not same and this is not same. So the answer is going to be Bravo if they're asking us the number of students can increase. Since we don't know if the number of candidates appearing every year has been same, so we would not be able to calculate that. But in the question is talking about percentage of candidates who qualified the exam. उस percentage का percentage change figure out करना. So if it's 30% to 50%, I don't care what the base is, right? I don't care how many students appeared for the exam. So we will be able to calculate, compare, and the answer is going to be 94 to 97, right? Okay, the next one. If the number of candidates that qualified in 1998, so the number of students who qualified in the year 1998, so we'll take this as 98, this is 99, this is 2000. So this is, so 80%, this corresponds to 21,200. What was the number of candidates that appeared in 1998? So that's what we need to solve. So can we say that 80% of total students that appeared was 21200? So what is T going to be? So can anyone try to solve this? क्या होना चाहिए? Right? So all we have to do is divide 21200 by 8. So this is going to be 8 into 2 is 16. Then we have 52. 52 will take us to 8648, and then we will have 5. This itself is good enough to give us the answer as C. So we will have 2 zeros as well. Okay. So 26,500 is the answer. Okay, next question. Set A is a collection of first 10 whole numbers. So the whole numbers, they start from 0, right? So first 10 whole numbers, matlab 0, 1, 2, and so on up to 9. These are the first 10 whole numbers. And set B is a collection of first 10 natural numbers. First 10 natural numbers are going to be 1, 2, and so on up to 10. So whole numbers start from 0, natural numbers, they start from 1. So how many numbers is or are not common to both the sets A and B? So if this is set A and if this is set B, if not, actually these are sets A and these are set A and B because it's given that way. So how many are not common to both the sets? So can we say 1 to 9 is common in both? The thing that is the numbers that are not common is 0 in A and 10. 0 doesn't exist in B and 10 doesn't exist in A. So there are two such numbers, two such values that are not common. Okay, next, a question related to blood relations. Pushpa is the mother of Kamla. Kamla is the sister of Dilip. Dilip is the father of Jimmy. How is Pushpa related to Jimmy? Right? A typical blood relations questions, how do we deal with it? Pushpa related to Jimmy means Jimmy is going to call Pushpa by which relationship? So what we will do is we will draw the blood relations tree diagram. So Pushpa is the mother of Kamla. So we have Pushpa, and Pushpa is the mother of Kamla. So that tells us that Pushpa is female, and Kamla is the sister of Dilip. So that means Kamla is again a female. Then it says Dilip is the father of Jimmy. We don't know the gender of Jimmy, but we are pretty sure Dilip is a male. Now, how is Pushpa related to Jimmy, as in what will Jimmy call Pushpa as? So Pushpa has two kids. One is Kamla and Dilip that we are aware of. And then Dilip has a son or a daughter, Jimmy. So Jimmy is going to call Pushpa by the relationship grandmother. Pushpa is mother of Jimmy's father. Okay. Next, which of the following dates fall on the same day of the week in any given month? Any given month. So if a day has to fall on any given month, they should have a difference of multiple of 7, right? So 4 and 24, they are 20 days apart. Okay, there is a difference of 20, which is not a multiple of 7. 6 and 30, they are 24 days apart. That is not a multiple of 7. 13 and 27, they are 14 days apart. They are multiple of 7. So C becomes our answer. We don't even have to check D because that's 11 days apart, which is not a multiple of 7. Right? Why 7? Because there are 7 days in a week. So it's good. It's a cyclic order. It's a cyclic process. Okay. The following table gives the percentage distribution of population of 5 states, P, Q, R, S, and T based on poverty line and gender. So percentage of population below the poverty line, above poverty line, proportion of male and female. If the male population above poverty line for the state R is 1.9 million, so we are only dealing with state R, then the total population of state R is. Okay. Male population above poverty line. So male population above poverty line. This. So from here, can we say that the male, so this is above poverty line, male and female ratio is 2:3. And then below poverty line, male and female ratio is 1:2, right? And then it says percentage of population below the poverty line. So below poverty line, the percentage population is 24%. That means the remaining 76% they are above poverty line, right? So can we say these two units, they represent 1.9? So if 2 units, it represents 1.9 million, then 5 units will represent 1.9 into 5/2 million. Now these 5 units, they are nothing but 76% of total population of state R. So if 76% denotes this much, what does 100% denote? So 100% is going to denote 1.9 into 5/2 into 100% by 76%. So this is the millions of people we have. Now from here, we are pretty sure that the answer will be in the table of 19 because 1.9 is in the table of 19. So this should very straightforward, very easily, this should give us the answer, right? All we need to do is find out which number out of the 4 options is in the table of 19. So 6.2 is this in the table of 19. So 19 into 3 is 57, and then we will have 55, 19 and 76, they are related, right? So it will actually cancel out. So 1.9 and 76, this is 4 times, right? So this is going to give us 500 to 5th. 76 plus 24 is 100%, right? So 24 and 76 and ठीक है, no calculation mistake. So if you solve this, this is going to give us 6.25 million. Okay, because 4.5 is in the table of 9, 4.85 is in the table of, it's not in the table of only 2s and 5s. That's the concern. 535 is not in the table of 2s and 5s, because if you look at the calculation, everything is in the table of 2s and 5s only. So 6.25 becomes our answer. Okay, next one. If the sequence 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4 continues as shown, then the sum of the first 19 terms will be, right? So 19 terms can be written as 2 terms 8 times plus 1 term, right? Sorry, 2 terms 9 times plus 1 term, right? 2 terms, why 2 terms? Because if I take them in pairs, each pair or each 2 terms add up to give us 6, right? So we can say this is 6 is the sum, 9 times is what we'll be getting 6. And if 1 term means the first term of the 10th pair, because 9 pairs we have already calculated. So that will be another 2 to us. So 9 into 6 is 54 plus 2, that will give us 56. So 56 becomes our answer. Right? Okay. Rimi was born on 3rd, 2012. Rima was born 13 days before Rimi. If Rimi was born on a Saturday, which was the day on which Rimi was born? So which one is the day and which one is the month? We don't have to worry about that in this, because they both are the same thing. Whether we say March 3rd or whether we say 3rd March, koi farak nahi padta. So we are pretty sure that Rimi was born on 3rd of March and the year is 2012. Right? Then it says Rima was born 13 days before Rimi. So this was 13 days before her date. We don't need the date, right? Next it says if Rimi was born on a Saturday, then Rima is going to be born on which day? So if we go vice versa, we can say that this is going to be a day wherein if you add 13, you end up at Saturday. Right? Now, suppose if this was not 13 but 14. So from a particular day, if you add 14 days, you will end up on the same day. So agar ye 14 hota, to ye Saturday hota. Saturday, 14 days means 2 weeks more. That is back to Saturday. But actually, this is not 14 and this is 13. Right? 13 ka matlab, it will not cross that day, right? So instead of Saturday, this is going to be Sunday, such that Sunday plus 14 would have resulted in a Sunday, but it's only 13. That means 1 day further you don't have to move. So you will not end up on Sunday, but you will end up on Saturday. Okay? Vice versa. Saturday se reverse agar 13 days jaoge, you will end up on a Sunday. So Sunday becomes our answer, the day on which Rima was born. Date is not required. It has got nothing to do with the leap year. It has got nothing to do with the month of February. Question simple ye hai कि इसको ignore करने का. Rimi was born on Saturday. Rima was born 13 days before Rimi. What day was it? Okay. Next. Frank, Fardeen, Fawad and Farhan are playing a game where the loser doubles the amount of money that the others have. They managed to play 4 games. Each player loses a game each as per reverse alphabetical orders of their names. At the end of the game, each player was left with rupees 32 each, who started with the most money at the beginning of the game. So each player loses a game each as per reverse alphabetical orders of their names. So between these 4 people, if suppose they are students of my class and if I take their attendance as per their alphabetical order, the first name that I am going to call is going to be that of Fardeen. फरदीन सबसे पहले रोल कॉल में आएगा, फिर आएगा फरहान because H comes after D, and after that we will have FAU because R के बाद U आता है, so it's going to be Fawlad, and after A is done we will be calling Frank. So this is the proper alphabetical order of their attendance roll call. Question says they lose a game as per reverse, मतलब reverse में, as in Frank lost first, then Fawlad, then Farhan, and then Fardin. Fardin was the last guy to lose. So if we talk about initial and if we talk about final, so initially Frank lost, and then Fawlad is going to lose, and then Farhan is going to lose, and then Fardin is going to lose. So this is a typical question which can be solved in the reverse order, as in lateral way. End से शुरू करेंगे, okay? And it is given that each one was left with 32. ठीक है? Okay. Now, whoever loses gives the entire, doubles everybody else's. Everybody else means the remaining 3 players' money. So if we go vice versa, we know that at the last stage, Fardin was the last guy to lose, right? Fardin was the last guy to lose. So Fardin must have doubled the money of the other 3. So when they have doubled, it became 32. That means before that, the money each one must have had should be 16 each. ताकि फरदीन ने सबका पैसा डबल कर दिया था. So 16, 16, 16, 48 more was added overall from Fardin's side on these 3 guys. That means Fardin must have had 32 of his own money and another 48. 48 कहाँ से? 16, 16, 16. 48 add हुआ. So this is going to become 80. 32 plus 48 is 80. Now, this was when Fardin lost. Now, when Farhan loses, he doubles the money of the other 3 guys. That means Frank must have had 8, Fawlad must have had 8, and Fardin must have had 40. तभी तो double करके वो फिर 16, 16, 80 हो गया होगा. Now, Frank money was increased by 8, Fawlad's money was increased by 8, Fardin's money was increased by 40. So that is 40 plus 8 plus 8, which is 56. So 56 rupees was given by Farhan overall to these 3 guys. And he already has 16, right? So 56 plus 16, that is going to give us 72. That's what Farhan must have had already, right? Now, it's the turn for Fawlad. Fawlad doubled everybody's amount, right? So that means Frank must have had 4, Farhan must have had half, that is 36, and Fardin must have had 20. So that Fawlad doubled the money of Frank from 4 to 8, that's an increase of 4. Fawlad increased the money that Farhan had by 36, doubled it. So 36 plus 4 is 40 so far. And Fardin's money by 20, so that is going to become 40 plus 20, that is 60. 60 rupees Fawlad ने अपनी जेब से बाकी तीनों को दिया. That means Fawlad must have had 60 plus 8, 68 with him. Now, it's the turn for Frank because he was the first guy to lose. If you are going from bottom, it's the last guy from bottom, right? So when Frank loses, he doubles everybody's money. That means Fardin must have had 10, Farhan must have had 18, Fawlad must have had 34. And the increase in the money the others may have seen, others saw, came from Frank. So Frank must have had that much extra money. So Frank definitely had 4. He gave 34 to Fawlad, he gave 18 to Farhan and 10 to Fardin. So that is going to be 34 plus 18 plus 10, which is going to give us 62. 62 is what Frank distributed to with other guys, and he already had 4. So 62 plus 4 is going to be 66. So this is the amount of money they initially had, and this is the amount of money they are going to finally have. Question is, who started with the most money at the beginning of the game? So Frank started with the most money at the beginning of the game. This is a very typical question. You guys may have solved similar question while preparing for CAT or SAT or IFT, right? Okay. Next, looks like a question on directions. Ranbir's office door faces eastwards. So this is his office, and his office door faces eastward. He walks out from his office back door. So he actually walks out back door, which is west. ठीक है, तभी उसको back बोलेंगे. And he walks up to 100 meters and then turns towards right. So when he turned towards right, he is going to move upwards. And he walks another 100 meters. Then he takes a left turn. He takes a left turn and he walks 50 meters. So he must be walking west now, right? Which direction has he reached now? He has reached, as in he is going to stop here. So the direction that he is going to reach will be calculated from our standard direction notation of east, west, north, south, right? So this is east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. So definitely he is in a region which includes or which lies between north and west. So the answer is going to be northwest. Next, two arms of a clock come over each other in approximately how many minutes? Now, this is a standard time that everybody must be aware of, that the time taken by the hour and minute hand of a clock, they meet after every 65 5/11 minutes. ये याद रखने वाला. This is a part of clocks and calendars topic, right? So if you know this, you know that this is approximately 65 minutes. It's actually a little over 65 minutes. So none of the options is closer to that, right? This is actually less than 65.5. So rounding off will take us to 65. Okay, looks like a standard question on set theory. If the total number of respondents who surveyed who use 4G enabled mobile handsets were 3591, then the number of 3G smartphone users surveyed are. So if you add these percentages, you will realize that this is nothing but 100%. Right? So 4G enabled phones, if this is 3591, then 3G smartphones will be how much? Looking at the options, they are kind of close, so an approximation straight away will not do. So what we'll have to do is see what is the multiplier here. Now 9 into what will give us 3591. So we will be doing 9 into 3 is 27. ठीक है, इसकी जगह एक काम करते हैं. Suppose this was 3600. Okay, suppose this was 3600. So we would have straight away said 9 into 4 is 36. 9 into 400. But this is actually not 3600, but this is 9 less. 9 less मतलब 9 के table में एक कम. 1 less than in the table of 9. So instead of 400, obviously we should have 399. Right? So the multiplier is 399. So we need to do 399 into 34. Right? 399 into 34 is definitely going to end in 6. So D and A can't be our right options. Now between these two, we have to see, is it going to cross 14,000 or not? So we can very much say this is 400 into 34. Okay. Now 400 into 30 is 12. 400 to 30 will be preferably 12,000. 400 into 4 is going to be 1,600. 12,000 plus 1,600 is 13,600. So in the best possible scenario, we will not be able to cross 14,000 anyway. So this value is definitely less than 14,000. So if 400 into 34 is less than 14,000, 399 into 34 should also be less than 14,000, right? So less than 14,000, only C makes sense. Or we will end up doing 399 into 34, which is not a difficult one, but time consuming. Okay, people who are watching the session, please make sure that you just click on the like button. That's all we need you to do. Okay, the table shows the percentage of total population of a city as per their age group. So the age group is less than 15 is 30%, 16 to 25 is 17.75, and so on. Total, if you add, it's going to be 100. Should we add and verify? No, don't need. No needed, not needed, because they have already mentioned it's 100 total. ठीक है? वो total 100 नहीं होता तो एक बार check करना पड़ता. Okay? Because 15 years age group is not included. Okay. Is there anything missing here? Hold on. There is something missing here. There is no reference for the base to be compared, right? Kuch to missing. Okay, anyways, next question. What shall come in place of question mark in the series given below? W161G, U357Q, R question mark M, N 266S. So when you have letters and numbers included in a pattern, in a series, what we do is we write down the position of that particular letter, right? So we have W. That's going to be 24. U is going to be 22. R is going to be 18. No, U22 नहीं होना चाहिए. This should be 21 and this should be 23. Because after W we have XYZ, which is 26 letters, so 3 more to go. N is going to be 14. M is 13. S is 19. G is our 7. Q is 17. ठीक है. So क्या चल रहा होगा इधर पे? So obviously it's either the sum or the product. कुछ तो logic होगा, right? So let's try the product first. 23 into 7. 23 into 7 is 161. 21 into 17, which is 210 plus 105, 315, 340 and 17. 357. This is 21 into 17. 14 into 19. 14 into 19 is going to be 280 minus 14, 266. It is 14 into 19. So definitely the next one should be 18 into 13. 18 into 13, I don't know the answer. Had there been a value, I would have checked it. But 18 into 13 will definitely end in a 4. Let's see how many options do we have. We have only one option that ends in 4. Okay. Next one. The roads to travel to various cities from point A are as given. So looks like it's not given. Okay. The image is missing. Okay, question is what shall come in place of equal to in the series given below? A, D, I, blank, and then Y. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. And then write down N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Let's circle. We have got A, then we have got D, then we have got I, then something is amiss, and then we have Y. If you look at the change, between A and D, there is a gap of 2 letters. Between D and I, there is a gap of 4 letters. And between I and Y, there is a gap of 15 letters. So if I write on a letter, so there will be a gap of 14, which should happen with 6 and 8. So between I and the next letter, there should be a gap of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be a gap of 6 and later on a gap of 8. So P makes the most sense if there is supposed to be a pattern. Okay. Next 2 questions. Please answer the following, 3 questions, 18, 19, 20. 3 questions based on the data given in the table and the notes below. So table says survey results of various modes of travel. The mode is walking, bus, car, or cycle, and the number is 55, 35, 18, and 72. Note, 1 in 8 of the people who cycle to work were found to be over 65 years of age. Okay, so we're talking about this particular data. 1 out of 8 people, so 1 out of 72 is going to be 9. So we can say that there are exactly 9 people who cycle to work were found 65 years of age. And in B point, 1 in 3 of the cyclists that they travel to work by bus on rainy day. So on rainy day, 1/3 of the cyclists, 1/3 over here would mean 1/3 of 72 is 24. So 24 cyclists, they actually went on a bus. So the bus number will increase, right? And the cyclist value will decrease by 24. It's only for rainy days, right? Not for other days. So let's see the first question. On rainy days, the number of people who went by bus and bicycle is approximately. So like we saw that 24 people from 72 will be included in the case of a bus. So that 24 should be added. So this is going to be 59. So 59 people, they go by bus and 48 people go by cycle on a rainy day. So we need the ratio of bus and cycle. So the ratio of bus and cycle is going to be 59:48, right? Now, 59 is a larger number, so A can't be our answer. So how much is 59/48? I don't know what 59/48 is. Let's do 60/48. Now 60/48, they both are in the table of 12. So this is 5/4, so which is 1.25. So 59/48 should be a little less than 1.25, right? So D makes sense the most. 1:0.9 will not happen because if 59 is 1.9 of that will be 6 less, which will be still above 50. Definitely not 48. तो B तो sense बिल्कुल नहीं बनता है. 19th, what is the share of respondents who cycle to work and were 65 years old? So 72 people cycled to work and were 65 years old. Okay. So how many people went? 1/8, right? 1/8 of 72 is going to be 9. So there are 9 people who cycle to work and were 65 years old. We're over 65 years old. We can't say exactly 65. And what is that share of the respondents? So this is going to be 9 out of total number of people. So total number of people is 55 plus 35 is 90, and 18 plus 72 is another 90. So 90 plus 90 is 180. So this is 1 upon 20. 1 upon 20 is 1 by 2 is 0.5. So 1 upon 20 should be 0.05. So Charlie, right? And the last question for this set is, if this data is represented in a pie chart, then how many degrees of arc in the pie chart represent each response in the survey results? We just saw that the total is 180 respondents, right? And we know that the total angle is 360 degrees. So can we say each respondent will depict 2 degrees, so that 180 respondents will cover up the entire 360 degrees. So 2 degrees in arc of the pie chart will be represented by each response in the survey result, right? Pretty easy. Okay, so before you guys, before we end up, I would like to tell few of the things about BYJU'S exam prep batches and the upcoming sessions, and make sure that you please like the video. That's all that is required, so that we keep on bringing you more such videos related to exams. So CAT 2023 comprehensive program, a new batch is going to be launched very soon. We have, you can talk to our executives and you can discuss what all things are required, what all things are there for you that we are providing you with. You will be provided with a tablet which will have more than 300 engaging videos. A live classroom session with over 200 hours will be taught to you in the class. So more than 75 mocks along with video solutions will be provided to you, which will include CAT as well as non-CAT, as in omits. 10,000 plus practice questions are provided to you. You are given 4 hard copy books and more than 5 years of previous year questions, along with rule books, formula books. Okay, those are ebooks. Okay, formula ebooks. You will be provided assistance with all the sections, irrespective of whichever exam it is, because some exams have more sections than CAT and some exams have different sections. So we'll help you with all of that. You will be getting more than 300 engaging lecture videos, which will not only discuss the concepts, but also the analysis, paper submission, form filling, form submission videos, what to write, what not to write, SOPs and all. We'll also help you with your GDPI and VAT preparation. That will include some recorded as well as some live sessions. So these all are included in the comprehensive program. On 28th of Jan, Mr. Vikrant is going to take a CAT 2023 strategy to ACE VRC at 7 p.m. So make sure that you register now. There are limited seats, okay? And once the seats will get filled, you won't be able to register. So make sure that you do it as soon as possible. All India Open Mock CMAT 2023 has already begun. It started on 21st of Jan. It will end on 29th. It will help you experience real CMAT. It will help you strengthen your weaknesses. You will also get video solutions. Okay, so make sure that you attempt this mock and get closer to the CMAT experience. Okay, again, limited seats are there. The link to registering for this exam is there in the chat, and it's also there in the description below. So don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. And if you have any queries, you can join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S Exam Prep for MBA. You can download our app from Google Play. It's given in the description below. The link is there, wherein you can watch hundreds and hundreds of videos which are related to everything, every aspect of MBA preparation. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.